everybody. Welcome back to What You Don't See, the podcast. Today we have a very interesting topic that I feel like a lot of women need to hear, especially young girls, because these are signs that like young girls need to be looking for in their partner, because I feel like unfortunately a lot of men are narcissists. Yep. You know what I mean?
Well, men and women.
Men and women. But what? Okay, maybe I'm just like maybe I'm just being a man hater, but I feel like it's more prevalent.
Well, you're already married, so you don't have to go out and find a date. Like like it's different when you're single and you're actually still dating. Like I wouldn't know what it would be like.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Yes. Anymore. In the past, we did.
But why do I feel like narcissism is more prevalent in men? Am I just imagining that?
I don't think it's more prevalent. I think women are narcissists and so are men.
Yeah.
well, and you know
I'm sure we could get Eli in here and he'd be like, oh, no.
Yeah. Well,
We'll have to ask him in a little bit.
hopefully he gets here and he'll jump into this one in just a bit. Or Ingrid. Hurry up, Ingrid.
I know. I want to define it really quick.
Yes.
Okay.
You found it on our favorite chat GPT.
Okay, we love Chat GPT. So this is what Chat GPT says narcissism is. It is someone who has an excessive focus on themselves, characterized by a strong need for admiration, lack of empathy for others, an inflated sense of their own importance. So some traits include grandiosity, which is an exaggerated sense of self-importance, need for admiration, lack of empathy, entitlement. Entitlement means like they believe that they deserve special treatment or that rules don't apply to them, and manipulative behavior. So if that sounds like your partner, maybe you need to rethink your relationship.
Well, let's talk about one.
Let's talk.
Well, before I talk about mine, when you're bringing up if women actually have
narcissism,
narcissism in them. I just had lunch with a friend of mine, and he was describing the girl he's dating. Now she is a powerful girl. She's got businesses.
Okay.
And her expectations were, you need to be on my beck and call. Like if I'm sick, I don't care if you have your kids, whatever, you need to be taking care of me.
The entitlement, like the nobody else matters but me. The lack of empathy.
The lack of empathy.
You're a parent. He can't just,
So yes, it goes both ways.
Yeah.
It definitely goes both ways. I've been in the single
journey.
And I just decided to date in September. I told myself, okay.
How long had you not dated?
A year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Yeah.
I decided to give myself, from my previous relationship, I did not want to jump into a new relationship right away. I wanted to I had things that I had to do. I wanted to go to therapy. I wanted to take care of me.
You've done a lot.
And I've done a lot. I wanted to grow my company. I wanted to take it into a different route. And I've been doing all that. It's been going great. And I set a timeline, like I always do, right? There's always a reason why I do things. So I knew, okay, in September, I want to start dating again.
Okay.
And I did. I went out I was dating 3 people at one point, right?
Good.
So I'm like, okay, this time around, I'm going to date different people to see what...
To really choose
Yeah.
instead of just
ones I
accept whatever comes to you.
Exactly. I said, this is going to be my new thing. I'm gonna date several. And I was very open with everybody.
Yeah.
So I dated, and no. You could see that he was not narcissist, but no. The second one, I'm not even going to go because they're going to know who they are, so I'm just not going to say it. But then the one that I decided to pick, I said, okay, this guy seems nice, right?
Yeah.
He seems nice, we've known each other, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'll date you.
Yeah.
Okay, you picked him over the other ones. What were the 3 main reasons why?
We knew each other already. Second, he came into, and these are dumb reasons, right?
But these are important to voice.
Yes.
Because other people are dating, and sometimes you may have 3 or 4 different options. So let's talk about what you chose him for.
He came into my life when I needed him, which was my dad passed away. And third, it's not somebody I have to take care of.
He has a stability about him.
Yes, he's got stability. He could pay. If we're going to take trips, this guy could pay for himself. I don't expect him to pay for me.
But he can actually pay for himself.
But yes, because the
Which
guy
is a
that I
change
dated
for you.
before, he couldn't pay for anything, right? So it's a huge change for me. And I was looking for somebody that I don't have to pay to take them on a trip. Or,
for the record, though, I feel like they should be paying for you. That's just my opinion.
I agree. I agree.
Because he was the one who wanted to travel. He was inviting you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I get it if you were inviting him.
Right. If they're inviting you, they should pay.
This guy was going to pay for it.
Yeah,
this guy was going to pay for everything. I wasn't going to have to pay for anything. So he had,
that stability, that financial stability.
The financial stability that I'm looking for. But, so he was the person. I was like, okay, I'm gonna talk to him. We start hanging out. I start noticing things that I'm not comfortable with. And at this point in my life, if I don't like something, I'm going to voice
what things? like what are the boundaries?
Oh God. Okay, so I hope my kids are not watching this. So I think sex is important in every relationship.
Right.
But this guy was obsessed, like his obsession with this, and I had to put like, hey, enough.
Yeah.
Enough with the memes, enough with the text messages. Because then he was like, you're not replying to anything I send you. I said, for what?
Because it's inappropriate.
Yes. I'm busy. I don't have time for this shit.
Yeah.
Right?
You can't be sexting all day
Sexting
long.
all day.
Yes. And I'm just like, what the
don't
fuck?
even send me a text message all day if you want me to answer you.
Don't send me a text at all, much less a sexting text.
I ain't got time
Thank
for
you,
Sarah.
Thank you. Okay. Well, I didn't even do the okay. So that became an issue. That, and he wanted to drink every time. And I'm okay with drinking, but don't pound a bunch of drinks. And don't, on a Thursday, I want to be home early.
Yeah.
Right? I want to be home early. I want to get up in the morning.
You're civilized. You're a civilized adult.
I want to wake up on Friday and go get my lymphatic massage, because now that's priority to me, all the self-care
yeah.
I give myself. So I had to say, hey, I don't want to drink. I don't want to hang out till like 3, 4 in the morning on a Thursday because I have things that I need to do. It's another one. Another one was
love bombing.
Love bombing.
He was love bombing.
Oh my
you.
God.
What is love bombing?
Oh.
Love bombing is when, at the very beginning of a relationship, the partner is just constantly like, let me get you gifts. Let me take you out. Let's see each other every day.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go on this trip next weekend. Let's just all of this, like literally what it sounds like, love bombing you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this obsession, this like very like,
I need to see you every single...
I need to see you every day. They're showering you with gifts. They want to take you on trips. They do all these grand gestures.
I would like trips. But okay.
Well, no, it all sounds really great.
It does. And that's why it's so dangerous,
Yeah.
and why a lot of people fall for it, because they're like, wow, this person is like really into
so
me.
obsessed with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for a lot of us, we're like, okay, I get it. I can see why somebody, is
Yeah.
love bombing me, but it's all...
I understand why somebody would love me.
Yeah.
I love it.
So, and it seems great, but it's kind of like a manipulation tactic to like,
Bring you
secure you, and then everything changes.
Well,
you know
that's
what
why
I mean?
you have to wait 6 months to see the person. You
Right.
cannot date somebody.
Yeah.
After the 6 months, their real personality would come forward
100%,
because they
yeah.
cannot be that consistent for that long of a period of time.
So
Yeah.
do not say yes to be in the relationship till after 6 months, right?
Right.
So he wanted a full-blown relationship after a month, right? He wanted to be my girlfriend. He asked me to be his girlfriend. He put me in a situation. I'm like, fuck, okay. And then we were supposed to go on a trip the weekend after, and I got anxiety. I'm like, I'm in a relationship. I don't want to be in a relationship. I'm still dabbling, right? I'm still trying to figure out who.
Yeah.
So I called it off. And I said, I can't go with you on this trip. I actually went by myself with my girlfriend. I ended up doing it myself because there was already things that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And when I started putting it in my head.
Yeah, we have to do it.
We have to do it, especially with food, right? I was like, okay, I'm food motivated. I'm still going.
Where did you go eat?
Oh my God. We'll talk about that one later.
Okay.
It's a lot.
She has really good restaurants.
Yes, we ate so much. So I decided to call it off. And I gave him a list of why I called it off, right?
Explanation.
I gave him a list. I sent him a text and I said, do you want to meet? Do you want to talk over the phone? Or do you want to text? Whatever you're comfortable with, right? So he said, text. And then he sends me an email with bullet points.
To your work email.
To my work email.
Well, I prefer emails because for me, emails are easier for me to sit and respond to.
Really?
Yeah. Because text, it's, yeah.
Maybe if you ever find yourself single, maybe this guy.
No,
this guy would be for you.
I don't want a narcissist. Okay, and then?
So then I get the email. Nowhere in that email did he say he would change. Everything was justifying his actions and
defensive,
and everything was a joke, right? So
there was no accountability. Like, he didn't take accountability.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say, like, I'm sorry I made you feel that way. He didn't like even if he felt he was in the right, he could have said, I'm sorry that I made you feel that way.
Exactly.
Let me know, like, how we can compromise. You know what I mean? Like, but it was just defensive.
Just defensive. So once I read that email, I said, this is not my guy. This is not my guy. This is not, I see the red flags. Mm-hmm. And we got to remember, when we see those red flags at the beginning of the relationship, that's the reason why we're going to end up breaking up with these people. Because even with my ex, the same reason why I was hesitant to dating him at the beginning, and he was persistent,
is the reason why you broke up.
Is the reason why I broke up. There was no ambition. There was laziness. There was, it was a child.
Right.
Well, he kind of was 12 years younger than me. so poor guy. I wanted him to grow up. So now I'm just like, a red flag, I'm out. Well, a couple.
And you gave him the opportunity to change.
You
didn't. Did your text message? Did you say, I don't like these things?
Mm-hmm. I said, I'm uncomfortable with this, and I've mentioned it, and I've said this to you before. So I put it together where it wasn't rude. He was going to understand. So then I go on my trip. He starts, I'm sorry, can we meet? So I met with him, and because we've known each other for a while, for about 10 years,
yeah,
maybe. So then we meet, and he's like, I should have said I was going to change. So he said all the things I wanted him to say.
Yeah,
in the beginning, right? But he said it afterwards. Okay.
So he's going to change. You know what? I'm not going to send you those things. Sex is not a priority. Blah 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 blah. He said,
yeah,
okay, let's give it another shot.
Which was really nice of you because,
because I was already done.
But then he said, I'm sorry, I won't do that anymore. And you gave him another shot, which I feel like was the right move.
I think so. But then 2 weeks later, this guy is probably like fucking dying to send all these things and to love bomb, because we go out and we had a great time. We went fishing, we hung out with my friend, and at the end of the night, the colors came out.
Oh,
this guy, after drinks, just gets up and gets in my face. So I had him in my face for an hour about how he wants to love bomb me, how he wants to talk about this, and how he wants all the things that I said that I did not want. He wants to still do them. And then through all these things, like, but baby, I'm going to buy you bags. I'm going to do this for you. And I'm just watching him. And I'm just looking. And I'm just like, just let him say whatever he's got to say and get him out of here.
Yeah.
And now this is a guy that started telling me, he's like, oh, yeah, when I broke up with this girl, I was like, get the fuck out of here. And so I didn't like that. So I'm like, I'm glad.
When they're being aggressive in a breakup to somebody else, they're going to be the same way to you. I mean,
100%. 100%.
I don't really... Although I know that you probably didn't feel like he was going to, like, hurt you.
I thought he was.
But that fear is like, wait a second.
An unsafe
It's
fear.
an unsafe feeling. That is, get out.
No.
Right? Like, do not stay in that relationship.
I had to pretend to, I just kept on saying, no, I was wrong. I'm sorry. Like, I'll let you do that. You know, maybe I exaggerated.
You had to pretend for your own safety.
I had to pretend for my own safety because
that's scary.
I had him right here. And we were at the island.
Yeah.
Good thing it was at my trailer.
Yeah.
Usually we go to his place. He's got a place down the street from mine. And it had been a month since I had been to my place. So this weekend I was like, you know what? I want to spend the whole weekend at my place. Like, you could come visit me, but I need to be at my place this weekend. I'm tired of being at your place. So thank God it was there. So he was in my face, yelling at me about if I was any other girl, he would have already been out. And I mean,
you didn't do anything wrong.
I didn't do
you didn't do anything wrong.
Jump in. No,
honestly, you were nothing but respectful. You never called him names. You never you know what I mean?
Was he yelling? Was he screaming at you?
He was screaming. He was
telling him what happened?
Yes.
We're talking about narcissism.
Narcissism, yeah.
Jump in so you can listen to this.
Narcissism,
yeah. I already told Eli.
Okay. I don't feel like you did anything wrong.
No,
you
I didn't
sent him a very adult message. This is what it's making me feel uncomfortable, and you weren't mean about it. Nope. So he was holding in all of this rage for 2 weeks because he wants to love bomb you. How dare you put boundaries?
Yep.
How dare you say what you're uncomfortable with?
But
you know what I mean?
What else did he say that because you said, he said if it was any other girl, I would have been out.
Yes, because he had been wanting to date me for the past 10 years, over 10 years, right?
Yeah.
This guy has been in my life on and off. We've never.
So do you feel like he was a little obsessed with you?
Yes.
Yes.
So is it narcissism or is it obsession?
No, narcissism, because
I would say both.
I feel like there was a lack of empathy.
Lack of empathy. There was a lot of other that I won't discuss. A lot of other topics that we brought up with lack of empathy.
Yeah.
The guy, he felt like he was authority. Like he what was the other one? Entitlement, right?
Entitlement of what?
Of her time and her attention and her energy.
That and with other people, the way he would treat other people. Like there was a time that he was going to get my car washed and the guy was going to be 30 minutes late. I told him to fuck off. He doesn't need this. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. So we're going to go to car wash, right? It's 30 minutes late. Shit happens, right?
Yeah.
So he had that.
You had seen the way he had treated others.
Yes, and I didn't like that.
That's a really important
people
character.
treat people in the service industry.
Yes.
The way they treat the waiter, the way they treat the housekeeper, all that stuff.
Their air conditioned technician.
So telling. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So telling.
So he was already there. So when he was yelling at me, it was so, I think about it right now because I've been in an abusive relationship and I said to myself that I would never ever put myself in this situation. Did you
go back to that fear?
Yes.
Yeah.
It took me back to that fear. I felt like I was in survival mode. I started scooting my chair to my neighbor's cameras because I really thought this guy was going to headbutt me. And he just
was
kept
that close to you?
Oh, he was right here. Like I'm sitting down and there's like the armchair, and he's like this, leaning on me with his face on my face for an hour. Finally, I'm looking at him and I'm just like, you are scaring me. And when I said that, he gets up, he took a deep breath, and he was just like, you could see he was upset.
Yeah.
He gets up and he takes off. And I'm just sitting there and I'm thinking, go inside, but what if I run inside and he follows me and he goes inside with me? Now my dog will kill him, but then he'll hurt my dog.
Yeah.
Because my dog is crazy. He'll fight anyone, right? We're going to change his name to Scrappy. So he'll fight anyone, but he's still small.
Yeah.
He's going to get hurt.
Yeah.
So your dog doesn't know him?
My dog already bit him.
Oh.
He knew.
Your dog
My dog
knew.
knew.
Bosco knew.
Bosco knew. My baby already went at him once. So he left. The moment he left, I blocked him from everything, and I haven't heard. And because there's no way he could get.
How long has it been?
This was just last weekend.
So it's still fresh.
It's still fresh. I'm still, and maybe that's why I went with no working out because I was
sugar.
Yeah, and sugar because I was
so calming.
Still feeling I cannot believe you put yourself in this situation. Now,
you didn't know. There was no way for you to know.
But I could see these young girls because while he's doing this, he's also talking about taking trips, getting me bags, doing this, and I could see maybe a girl that wants all these things,
lifestyle,
wants this lifestyle. Thank God I could afford this lifestyle.
Yeah,
that I didn't need that
somebody
from
to
him.
provide it to you.
Exactly. I could see a girl
because he will
saying,
find somebody.
He will. Oh, he's had them.
Yeah.
He's had them. And he said there that they are the toxic ones, but no, sir, you are the toxic one.
A large part of, I think, his entitlement has to do with he has money.
His ability to have.
He has money, so he feels like I can control women because I have money and I can provide this lifestyle and they'll never leave me.
Yep.
But
They need it. They need me.
Yeah. But maybe part of his fascination with you was that he knew that you never needed him, maybe, and it was like a goal
And it was
because you
driving
can
him
provide that
crazy.
lifestyle for yourself, and it drove him crazy.
It's a challenge.
Yeah, it was a challenge.
It was a real challenge.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just scary. It's
It is.
so scary
It
because I
was.
know that there are young women, and there's like a very big movement right now on TikTok of it's called the trad wife, traditional housewife, and sort of glorifying the traditional housewife lifestyle. Nothing wrong with being a housewife at all. I'm worried though that men are going to use this as a means of controlling their partner.
well, wasn't there that speech that was given at one of the colleges? It was a man's college, and he was talking about
yes.
how women. His mom is a super powerful woman.
He was giving a speech at a university.
Yes.
At the university graduation, the commencement
yeah,
speech, and he's
ceremony.
saying like
How
I
women-
wish the thing that my wife has achieved the best is being a mom and a wife. You know what I mean? And like, how are you giving this speech to girls who are graduating right now? But it's a big movement right now on TikTok, the trad wife trend, and a lot of women are like, and I totally support women's choices to be a stay-at-home mom. I just want there to be an escape route.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
Well, for
save
them
your
not
money.
to be, for them not to be tied down to
Exactly.
being treated badly or abused because you can't get out of the relationship because you're being provided for.
Yeah.
So you have to be smart about the choices that you make when you make them. One of the things, you said about being one of his favorite things about his wife being a mom. That's not the problem in what his speech was. It was that he was saying that more women need to consider that as their option as opposed to graduating.
Right.
Something about
Yeah.
women making the wrong choices in life, and that he glorified his wife because she decided to be a stay-at-home woman and be a mom. And that's where it went wrong.
Yes,
because
that's-
of how he put that emphasis. Because one of the things, I went to a conference and they said, what is your superpower? And ask your mate, what is your superpower? And my husband responded to mine and he said, being a mom. And that really touched me because I don't consider, that's not my first, you know what I mean? I'm always in a business mode, whatever. And so that was really beautiful. So it's really beautiful being a mom. That's not what we're saying here.
Yeah.
It's more of making
very
sure that
hard job.
you're in a safe space.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's super important because you can fall very easily into this charm, this lifestyle. You're going to go on trips, I'm going to buy you bags, you're going to be taken care of. And it's like so easy for young women to be like, oh, I found my Prince Charming.
We're going to get messages.
Yeah.
Who was he?
Who was he? Who was he?
I found my Prince Charming, and yet, they eventually show their true colors, and it's like now they control everything. How much you spend, what you do, if you go out with your friend. It starts off very love bombing, and then it transitions into control and abuse. So
I got he discloses true colors soon because I set my boundaries from the get-go.
You did.
You have to set boundaries.
You have to.
As females, you have to know what they are, too.
Yes,
You
and
did.
and you start learning more and more of them that you want as you get older, right?
Well, I think it was because you also didn't date for a year.
That's true. Like I just took time, and I'm like, okay, this is what I want.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be perfect, but this is what I want.
Yeah.
And I'm okay being alone.
Yeah.
I love being single.
Well, I think that's the difference is that you gave like for me, I had to be alone for me to understand exactly what I was looking for. Like you found your voice
Right.
in being alone. So now you're able to set boundaries. My daughter went through a really bad relationship and she took a year off and she was like, no, now this is what I want. So like your headspace is no longer dick and men.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
You're not so close to the relationship feeling. You find yourself. You realize
Love yourself.
You love yourself. You enjoy your own company, and then you're like, okay, now when I start dating, I don't want to destroy this piece that I have. They need
Yes.
to add to the
Exactly.
piece.
And that
That's
was my
perfectly
thing.
said.
Yeah.
Okay, you're messing with my nervous system. That was my thing in my head. I was like, I would see the text messages like, okay, this is too much for me. I'm not used to this shit.
Instead of like the giddy, like, oh, like
Yes.
what's his? It was like nervous system.
Or
is
are you mad
alert.
at me because you're not replying?
That's
are you mad
a
at me?
perfect
And I'm just like,
way to know it's a red
why
flag.
am I mad at you? Because I'm not replying. I'm busy, right? When I took a trip with my sisters, are you okay? You haven't.
I would have been dumped like from
Oh.
day one. Like
I was, I wanted it to be over, but I gave it another shot, and I regret because it put me in that situation. I handled it well. It took me back to my previous.
I'm glad you're proud of yourself.
Yes,
I'm very proud of you.
thank you. I was like, and then when he left, I was like, as soon as I saw the car drive away, I ran inside the house. I blocked. You have no way to get a hold of me. I called Eli. I called my friend Arlene. Okay, this is what's going on.
He's over there waving.
This is what happened in case something happens to me.
Yeah.
Right? Because now he's going to be, which I know he won't because he knows a lot of people that I
Yeah.
know. So he's not going to
not gonna be dumb.
He's not going to be dumb. He's
Especially
not-
now it's on a podcast.
Exactly. and he watches the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. But it's okay because he needs to see that.
Yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't do that to another woman.
Yeah.
Hopefully he offers peace to women.
Yeah.
And maybe he gets some help because every relationship he's had has been toxic.
Well, maybe he needs to find the peace and not date for a while and find the peace
Yeah.
within himself so he can understand
Yeah.
what boundaries mean. And maybe he needs to put his own.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know
well,
what I
no,
mean?
he was trying to put him, bro.
No,
he
I
was
mean,
trying
like-
to put him.
No, like
I
his
was like,
own understanding
slash,
of his own
slash.
peace.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
So that you're not obsessed with somebody texting you back.
Exactly. Some people just have way too much time on
Because
their hands.
there's something wrong with somebody being obsessed that you're not text back.
Yeah. There is. It's because
Yeah.
they don't have a life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You have-
If they had their own life, their own stuff going on, they wouldn't be so obsessed with hearing back from the person they're dating. You know
They
what I
would
mean?
be self-secure.
Or
Yeah,
self-secure.
Yeah, they would be secure in themselves, and they wouldn't need that outward validation.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
And I think narcissists, they need that admiration.
Yes.
And that was part of it. They need that
Yes.
admiration. They need somebody to like look up to them and feel like, wow, I need this person. They're so amazing. So
And I think that's where he wanted me to be.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think he wanted but I it's going to take me a little bit longer to get where he's at, but I'm going to get there. Right? And I don't need when I was listening to everything he was saying, I was thinking, "Oh my God, this is what young girls go through with a
Yep.
narcissist. This is
Yep.
what they're doing for a damn Louis
Vuitton bag.
No, girl, don't go for the Birkin. If they can do that shit to you, go for the fucking Birkin.
don't do it for
Yeah.
Louis.
A Louis is not. That
No,
was like
and then-
back in the 80s.
And then
We
they
don't need
try
any
to
more
take
Louis.
it away from you.
Yep.
And
Oh,
after
yeah.
they give it to you like that and you stay in those relationships, and then they claim it and they try to take it back away from
Well,
you.
he hasn't
So
tried to
just-
take back the couple of things that he got me. So he hasn't tried to, because
Yeah.
he hasn't been able to get a hold of me,
Yeah.
right? But I'm still not going to use them. I put everything back where in their little boxes, and I don't want nothing to do with them, right? Because I see them now and I cringe just because this is the person that put me through this. So those shit
Yeah.
will be probably in my closet or the housekeeper.
Sell
will
them.
take
So again, that's it makes your nervous system unhappy.
Yes.
Right?
And
That
to
that
me-
red flag.
As long as if you fuck with my nervous system,
You're out of my life.
you're out of my life.
Friends, family,
Everything,
relationships.
yes.
If I don't feel a calm nervous system when I'm around you, that's my like intuition saying something's not right. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not healthy for me.
Exactly. Anyway, thank you for sharing your story of dating a narcissist.
I'll keep doing more research.
Yes.
On single dating.
If any of these traits or anything of what Magda shared resonates with you, that is your sign to take a deep look within yourself and your relationship. Why are you staying in this relationship? Is it for the security, the money, the bags, the purses? Is it because you're afraid of being alone? Do the inner work, dig deep,
Be at peace.
be at peace, because 10, 15 years from now, you might regret not calling it off when you saw the red flags.
And when
So-
you were in your prime, right? Because
Yeah.
No, that's true. When you were in your prime.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wasted your youth with an abuser. Anyway, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you guys for listening. We hope this was helpful, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.